Well, hi everyone, welcome back to the Match Fishing Magazine YouTube channel, and today we're out testing some new rods. We've come to the brilliant Meadowlands fishery, which is in West Midlands, and it is a superb place to come and fish. Have loads of matches here, loads of fish in here, some big ones as well, and that's what we're hoping to get in amongst, because today we're here testing the MAP Parabolix Pro Black Edition SUV Waggler rods. Now SUV stands for the stepped up version of these rods. So there's kind of standard models available, and these ones are maybe something like 15% stepped up stronger than the kind of standard models. And they're designed for venues like this and times of year like this, where you're blessed with some sunshine, you're going to catch big weights, and really you want to get those fish in nice and quickly. So these rods are a little bit more powerful, and they're going to be brilliant for this sort of game. We've had a superb session here on the big lake, which is Lansdowne. What we're going to do is just going to get that one in the net, and then we're going to take a closer look at some of the tech specs on both this, the 11-foot, and the 12-foot model. Well, there we go. This one's a bit on the small side, but a typical Meadowlands carp. And perfect sort of fish to catch on the pellet waggler at this time of year. Blessed with a bit of sunshine, what better way is there to go? Fish a pellet waggler, fire some 8mm in, and catch a net full of fish like this. Let's take a closer look at some of the tech specs on these SUV rods. So these are the two new additions to the Parabolix Pro Black Edition range. As I mentioned, they're the SUV models, and I know I covered it, but they're sort of stepped up by about 15% over the standard models. They're going to be perfect when you're going to catch bigger weights, bigger fish, you know, in the summertime when those fish are right under the rod tip and you just need that extra bit of backbone to get them up to netting range and netting distance. These rods are going to be a perfect choice. Visually, they're slightly different to the standard Parabolix Pro Black Edition rods. So the SUV versions have these kind of red whipping, they have the red lettering, red whipping, and these lovely little red accents on the handle as well. So for example, if you got multiples, loads of rods set up in your ready rod bag, or sections separate, you can easily identify the sections for these SUV models by the red coloration. So that's a nice little tip, makes each section easy to identify. Loads of features on these rods. Today I've used the 11-foot, that would be my choice. I would always kind of go for an 11-foot model over a 12 for this style of fishing. Obviously the 12-foot is going to be better for maybe bigger wagglers, fishing further, longer range, deeper water maybe. You know, that's when you might want to pick up the 12. The 11-foot is going to be perfect for me, for the majority of situations, pellet waggler situations at this time of year on commercial waters. In terms of features, there's loads on these rods. You got these lightweight guides, basically the standoff design. So what that's going to help to do is keep your line away from the blank. So it's going to help with nice smooth casting and just to keep everything running free throughout the day. So, and they're also really lightweight, so they're not going to affect the action and the response of the blank. You know, you can feel in your hand, it's really responsive, and on the strike, you know, there's loads of power and responsiveness there, to pick up the line. Lovely whipping, as I said, these red accents, Moving down the rod, you got really clean graphics and this lovely kind of I don't know, pattern section right here where the graphics are. Really nice touch, makes it look really premium. On the underside, hook keeper, always useful. I know a lot of people like to hook the hooks up on the rings or on the handle itself, but hook keeper, just a nice little addition. Folds flat to the blank as well, so it's not going to be in the way. Moving down to the handle and the reel seat, so you've got a top of the line Fuji reel handle. So you having fished with them today, your reel locks in there really securely. They're nice and slim. Now, reel's not moved once, and it's just going to give you that security when you just want to be concentrating on your fishing. You don't want to worry about your reel coming loose or anything like that. Once this is locked down, nice and secure on the rod, and you can see there just on this top piece that red detailing that just signifies it's the SUV model. On the handle, you've got the cork and Duplon design with this textured, it's kind of quite a little bit of a soft feel to it, like a textured, maybe hexagonal type design with the MAP logo on the bottom here. Really nice. The handles aren't too long either. A lot of rods, the trend has been, even with Waggler rods, you know, with long handles making it easier for casting, but these are really nice and manageable. When you're casting, you're not catching them on your thigh or on the legs on your box or anything like that. So even though this is the longer 12-foot model that I'm holding here, the handle's not too long, nice and manageable. In terms of the actual fishing today, I'll just run you through the rig I've used because it's ever so simple. When we're fishing this time of year, pellet waggler, I just like to use these clear crystal designs, locked in place with a couple of float rubbers, float stops, no shot on the line because that kind of weakens the line. But because we're fishing with these stepped up rods, I've matched it with an 8-pound reel line, loads of strength. That's what you want at this time of year for catching big weights when you're pellet waggler fishing. Hook length is 0.22, again, really strong. Size 14 eyed hook with a band. It's just a small bait band and a banded pellet. I mean, in terms of rigs and simplicity, it doesn't really get much simpler than pellet waggler fishing. The secret of pellet waggler fishing, the secret to success really, not that I profess to be an out-and-out expert or anything, but just it's a method that always rewards those who work the hardest. Constantly feeding, constantly casting, adjusting your depth, finding those fish, and just being a busy angler. That's what always pays off when you're pellet waggler fishing. So just coming back round to these rods, SUVs available in 11 foot for $179.99 and 12 foot at $189.99. You also get a padded rod bag for each of the rods as well. Quality guides, loads of features, slim blanks, lovely action. You got this Parabolix action, which MAP are famous for. Loads of power, loads of responsiveness in the tip, and just an all-round delight to use really. Lovely rods, lightweight in the hand. Once you've got a reel on, they're lovely and balanced. You know, you're going to fish 5 hours, you're going to fish a match all day with these rods, and you know, there's going to be no fatigue or tiring. I think you're going to have a really nice day. You're going to enjoy using the rods. Cracking bits of kit for the money. And once again, we've had a brilliant day here at Meadowlands, putting these rods through their paces. You can read my review in the latest issue of Match Fishing magazine as well, but a lot of which we've covered in this video here anyway. That's it really. So MAP Parabolix Pro Black Edition SUV pellet waggler rods, big tick from Match Fishing magazine. Have yourself a look at your local MAP stockist. You know, I think you're going to be really impressed with these. Loads of features. They're not going to break the bank either. $179.99 and $189.99 respectively. Well worth a look. We'll catch you right here on the Match Fishing YouTube channel next time for some more reviews.